Here's some game. As a CEO, you cannot do all the hiring as much as you want to, as much as I want to, as much as the next small business operator, entrepreneur wants to do all the hiring because we feel like we're gathering our team, right? You know, when we're kids, we play basketball, and you got a group of people, and they would just make a line, and then the two leaders would pick who they want, right? And as a leader, we get into the process of picking who we want. But that's in the situation. That's when you're playing a game that requires you to be at the helm of your boat. When you are building a business, you need to understand that you are building another entity. You are bringing life onto the planet. You're bringing something that makes its own income that should be independent of you. That it's like a child. At first, you're paying for the child. When that child grows up, that child's going to be contributing to you. That child's going to say, "Hey, Dad, I got 200 on your electric bill," or "Hey, I'm gonna take care of your rent, your mortgage, or whatever." Right? Look at it like a portfolio. You know, you acquire that asset early, and then in hopes that that asset is able to survive to the point where it can actually pay you a dividend and remit equity payments to you as well. Same situation with your crew. Same situation with your staff. You cannot do all the hiring. The sooner you let go of control of doing the hiring aspect, the better of a boss you're going to be. And I'm going to tell you why. Because the smooth transition is in the training, not in your selection process. Let me say that again. It's in the smooth transition is in the training. See, once you stop doing the hiring and you fall back and you let someone else do the hiring, you can then focus on the results that you see from that hiring process, and then you can build out the onboarding training process so that that segment can create rock stars for you. And then once that segment is done, once your onboarding training is done, then you can really fall back and go focus on something else. So who do you need to do your hiring? You need the person who is like the direct supervisor over that part do the hiring. So for an example, Buckhead Staffing, we have a director of creative, right? This person oversees all of the creative candidates, all the creative people, and they help curate. And when we have, like for example, if we have, you know, Jones Day, or we have, another company, Mills Creek or something like that. We have a company, they need a graphic designer, whatever the case may be. You know that, and we're recruiting for them. That person is going to be in touch with our creative director of creative, and then that person is going to say, "I think that based on your style, that candidate will be excellent for you," and etc. I'm not doing that. The other investors and other people, the CFO isn't doing that. The other people are not involved in doing that. That's what he's doing. So when we need to hire VAs, guess who's hired? Guess who's doing the interview process and who's hiring the VA? He is, because he's going to know what he needs, not me. I'm focusing on building and developing the company like you should be, raising capital and recruiting people. Like that's what I'm doing. That's what you should be doing. The corporate development side of things, building the actual business, not working in the business, but working on the business. So with that being said, it's going to be more fruitful for you to let the people that are directly involved do the hiring, whatever that position is, and to relinquish all that hiring process to the folks that are going to be directly involved. You know, I'll give you a quick story. There's one time where this dude was he was over all the hiring, and if an offer was made to a candidate that he didn't approve, he didn't get sued, but he would rescind the offer, and he didn't get sued or anything. But what he did do was he lost the respect of his team, because they knew that at the end of the day, this guy right here isn't going to let me pick my own squad. So it's really going to be based about him. It's going to be based on him and his ego, and it has nothing to do with what we need. It's about how he feels. If you put yourself in that position, you can kind of understand where it's kind of coming from. It's almost like your parents picking your wife or your husband for you. It's like, what about my insight? Because I got to live my life. I'm the one who has to come to work and work with this person, and I don't want to work with this person. You know what I'm saying? So to bring it all back in, make certain that when it comes to the hiring process, you delegate the authority and responsibility, and take that onus off of you and put it on your team, so that your team can hire the people in their culture that they need, and focus on your training. Focus on making sure that the company culture is a fit, that they know exactly what to do once day 1 all the way up to day 30, making sure that that whole thing is planned out. That's where your focus should be, because once that's done, it's done and you can pass it. And then you go focus back on something else.